From Fox 14, the right news at the right time, and the Spirit of Community Award winner. This is Fox 14, your morning news.
Right now, getting bites throughout the night. We speak to a woman who says the bed bugs at her apartment are leaving her bruised, bloody, and bitter.
And a string of shootings plague Monroe. The most recent victims, both juveniles, and the suspects are still on the run.
Plus, Farmerville police are turning up the heat as they search for the person responsible for stealing AC units.
Good morning, and thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 14, your morning news. The time now is 8 a.m. And speaking of turning up the heat, Anna, someone turned up the heat in the Arclimus because it's hot today.
Yes, definitely, for sure. Not going to be a very fall-like start to October.
Unfortunately.
Hot-tober, like you said.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And a lot of the viewers are on board with that term too. So we'll keep it going for sure.
Lexi, you coined it.
Yeah, definitely. Now we are going to see temperatures in the mid to upper 90s by later on this afternoon. There may be a few areas getting close to breaking their records for today. Out at the Monroe Airport, the record is 100. I don't think we'll break it for today, but over the next couple of days, we might just get a little bit closer. But in the meantime, it's been a great start to our morning. Nice, clear blue skies, but now that we're past 8 a.m., it is going to start warming up just a little bit, but temperatures still not feeling too bad. Currently here in West Monroe, it is 70 degrees. That is your forecast first.
Well, we begin this morning in Monroe, where a case of bed bugs has one resident wanting a refund and some accountability.
She tells Fox 14's Chelsea Jones she can't sleep tight because the bed bugs bite.
It's been around for almost 90 years. Once esteemed as Hotel Francis, today called Francis Tower, an affordable living facility in Monroe. But beyond these walls are some unwelcome guests.
These are bed bugs.
A resident since 1996, Johnny Smith says she first brought the bedbug problem to management's attention in April. But she says they didn't do anything until last week.
So I turned the cover back, and there was 2 bed bugs at the foot of the bed.
So I went to ask about it.
I'm Chelsea. Is the manager available? I cannot give you a comment, but I can refer you to my executive director.
Executive Director of Monroe Housing Authority, William Smart, declined to be on camera, but was very willing to address Smith's concerns. He says bedbugs are real, and they can come from anywhere. Smart says a heat and chemical treatment was done on Wednesday, September 25th, and no traces of bedbugs were found. But the proof is in the bag, and Smith is fed up.
Oh, it don't take but 1 bed bug to hatch up to 500 eggs.
Now she wants her money back for the cleaning supplies she had to purchase and for pain and suffering. In Monroe, Chelsea Jones, Fox 14 News.
Well, William Smart gives this quote that reads in part, "We are passionate about our residents. We would not want residents to live in any conditions that we would not want to live in ourselves."
For the full statement and more pictures of Miss Smith's bedbug problem, head over to our website, myarclimus.com.
On to a crime alert this morning. Monroe police are investigating after 2 juveniles were shot within 3 hours of each other Sunday night. According to police, the first shooting happened in the 4200 block of Elm Street around 6:30. Officers arrived and found 1 male juvenile with a single gunshot wound. Now that victim is in stable condition and is recovering at an area hospital. The second shooting happened in the 1600 block of South 4th Street around 10:30 Sunday evening. Another male juvenile had been shot as well. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died. No names have been released and no suspects have been identified. If you know anything about either shooting, call Crime Stoppers at 318-388-2274.
And a strong Arkansas woman killed and 2 children injured in a single vehicle crash. According to Arkansas State Police, the wreck happened on Highway 275. Police say 30-year-old Jordisha Betters was heading north in her 2012 Toyota when she lost control in a curve. The vehicle went across both lanes before striking a tree in the ditch. Betters was killed and the 2 girls inside the vehicle were injured. They were taken to a local hospital for treatment. The cause is still being investigated.
Well, in the midst of our early fall heat, some folks don't have air conditioning thanks to thieves taking them from residents and businesses.
Yes, that's right. Fox 14's Brian Briggs caught up with Farmerville Police to find out more.
The AC is back up and running at Salon 1 on Marion Street after the business was left without one last Thursday. It was one of many victims in a string of thefts involving AC units across Farmerville.
several window units being stolen, window air conditioner units being stolen out of residents along Raven Road, as well as the surrounding area of Farmville.
4 other units were taken from homes over a 2-day time frame on Raven Street. Farmerville police believe they are connected given the nature of the theft.
It seems like they're not entering the residence, they're just grabbing the units from outside and pulling them from the residents' windows.
And thieves are not taking the units to find relief from the heat.
These units can be sold at scrap places for small amounts of cash, and if you get enough of them, load up on a trailer, take to a scrap yard, it can have a pretty beneficial payoff.
So, what can residents and businesses do to avoid being targeted?
Be sure and fasten any utilities that you can to your house. Camera surveillance systems are always a plus. Neighborhoods helping each other out. That's the biggest thing. If you see anything unusual, if you see anybody snooping around a residence, be sure and call the authorities immediately.
In Farmerville, Brian Briggs, Fox 14 News.
Police are asking anyone with information to please come forward.
And if you'd like to help Farmerville police with the investigation, their contact information can be found on our website. That's marklemis.com.
And the candidates for governor joined their constituents at the polls. Governor John Bel Edwards and Eddie Rispone headed to the polls Monday for the primary election. We're just 12 days away from the official election, which is October 12th. Recent polls from We Are America show Rispone now holding the second place spot with 23%, which is a 7-point increase from last poll. Congressman Ralph Abraham dropped to 17%. Edwards still holding a lead with 47%. If no candidate gets more than 50% of the vote, the top two will run against one another on November 16th.
I'm always happy to see people vote, and you know, sometimes we go through election cycles and you have a relatively low turnout. I think this is a good omen that we're going to have a really good turnout this election. That's one of the reasons why we feel good about this election as well, is the more educated, the more informed they are, the more obvious the choice is going to be.
The best part about all this is meeting people, seeing the enthusiasm of people really excited about someone like me running. So, you know, someone that can really make the difference. You know, not the traditional candidates, and a business person who can really move our state forward. So that's been very positive.
And just a reminder, early voting will run to Saturday, October 5th. Those hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And a heads up, the Ouachita Parish Police Jury has put a burn ban in place for Ouachita Parish. For most people who have heard of a burn ban, but what does it mean? Well, it means exactly what it sounds like. It means no burning of any kind until the ban is lifted. This includes trash, leaves, limbs, branches, even debris. Officials want the public to know that burning during a burn ban can be extremely dangerous to people, buildings, and land. Violating the ban is serious and punishable by fines or even time behind bars.
We look at the extended forecast, including the humidity, and we look at how much our trucks are running, and this is a time for us to be proactive and try to prevent fires from getting out and getting bad.
We have a full list of all the parishes affected on our website, marklemis.com.
Coming up next on Fox 14, one of President Trump's closest confidants has been subpoenaed in the ongoing impeachment saga.
Find out who's getting pulled into the investigation and what the president has to say about it when we come back. But first, let's send things over to Lexi for a look at your commute cast.